Good evening. Thank you for joining us for Mary Washington Healthcare's monthly recruitment conversation. My name is Darla Burton, and I'm the Director of Recruitment, and I'll be your voice this evening. Tonight, we want to focus our conversation on our allied health diagnostic and interventional cardiology departments, including imaging in both in- and outpatient rehab. Donna Morris is the Admin Director of Imaging and has been with Mary Washington Healthcare for over 25 years. She oversees our imaging departments and our outpatient rehab at both Stafford and Mary Washington hospitals. And we also have Jessie Mountjoy. She's the Director of Cardiac Services and has been with Mary Washington Healthcare for 9 years. She's responsible for Mary Washington Hospital Cardiac Services as well as inpatient rehab at both facilities. Please keep in mind this Facebook Live event is a career conversation. Submit your questions that you have throughout the program, and we'll respond to all questions live. However, if something happens and we're not able to get to you during the event, we will respond via Facebook Live later. And to start our conversation tonight, I'm going to turn it over to Donna Morris.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Donna Morris, and I am the Administrative Director for Hospital Imaging Services at Mary Washington Healthcare. And we are just delighted, Jessie and I, that you have taken time out of what I'm sure is a long day for you to spend a half an hour with us just to get a little bit of information about what we do here at Mary Washington Healthcare and what it is to be a member of our team. I am not a Fredericksburg native. I'm actually from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I moved here 25 years ago. And I was so excited to do that because Fredericksburg is a small town but has access to a whole lot of things within a couple of hours. If you like the mountains, they're here. If you like the ocean, it's here. If you like history, Revolutionary War, Civil War, government, you can get just about anything that you want in our little small location. So we're really, really excited to share a little bit about our organization with you and our backgrounds. So Jessie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Jessie Mountjoy. I'm Director of Cardiac Services. That includes diagnostic cardiology, interventional cardiology, and I also manage inpatient rehab. So under diagnostic cardiology, I have EKG, stress, echo, cardiopulmonary rehab, and telemetry. Under interventional, I have cardiac cath lab, EP, and cath holding. And I'm also not a native as well. I'm from New Mexico, and it's certainly very different out here than New Mexico. I love it. It's green grass, 4 seasons. I really enjoy it out here.
Yeah. So a little bit about us. I graduated from the University of Tennessee School of Radiology, and that was a long time ago. I've been doing this for 36 years, and I did get my bachelor's degree from Florida Hospital College of Health Sciences. So what attracted me to healthcare in general is my youngest brother, Tim, was diagnosed at 18 months as a juvenile diabetic, which is kind of unusual. He was in and out of hospitals a lot. My parents really couldn't leave us alone to go out on dates and things like that. So when they did have that opportunity, our babysitter was a nurse. So I remember Brooke very well, and I wanted to be a nurse. And Brooke said, you know, I was a bit of a tomboy. She said, you know, you might want to think about x-ray. You seem to get hurt a lot. I had 3 brothers, so I had a lot to keep up with. So I became very interested in radiology, had a few x-rays of my own, and I think I was just destined for the field. So that's what I did. That's what I chose to do. And have not regretted it one bit. My father said it's probably the best return on investment he's ever had. And speaking of my brother Tim, I remember being in x-ray school, and we had a big manual, and we had to learn how to position patients. And my father would have the textbook in his hand, and I would position my brother against the wall, and I would have to recite verbatim everything that I was doing. And so I have to credit my brother and my father for helping me to be successful in my field.
That's very neat, Donna. So my background is I started a while back as an EMT. So I got my EMT basic, did that for a little bit, volunteered, got a little 24-hour job, and became a EMTI medic. I then worked in the ER for a while and then became an RN. So continued to grow up the ladder. I then became the manager of the cardiac cath lab, and then continued to grow to director of cardiac services from there. So, and I think that's what's great about Mary Washington is they have lots and lots of career growth opportunities.
Yep.
From anybody in, as an EMT to, further up in leadership and things like that. They continue to grow all levels.
Absolutely. I think one of the nice things about this organization, and it's why I stay here, is it really is a relationship and a handshake. If you have a career interest, the organization will speak with you about that and say, hey, here's some opportunities, maybe give you a project, maybe give you, a little bit more responsibility, certainly can give you the exposure to leadership classes if that's something that you're interested in. You can cross-cover or cross-train into other modalities. I mean, Jesse and I, our backgrounds, we don't have backgrounds in rehab, but we've been given the opportunity to help out in that area, and it's been a great learning experience for both of us to do that.
Mm-hmm. Donna, do you want to talk about School of Radiology that we offer here at Mary
Oh,
Washington?
absolutely. We are very, very fortunate to have a very high level of training in our School of Radiology. The school is actually led by Erica Lastly, who's the program manager, and Nick Evans, who's our clinical coordinator. They have really invested a lot of themselves in the program, and it shows. Currently, we are accepting applications to the school. The school will accept applications through April the 1st for the next program. The school is accredited by the Joint Review Committee on Education and Radiologic Technology for a period of 8 years, and that is the maximum accreditation that you can get. The school has a 100% pass rate, and also in 5 years, and also pass rate for the American Registry of Radiologic Technology. So we're really, really proud of that program. One of the things that we do with our technologists is we cross-train within our department so that they have an opportunity to grow themselves. So what Ms. Lastly did was she created the didactic curriculum that will enable the technologists, once they finish their clinical rotation, to get their education requirements satisfied so that they can take their registry. And that is for free, and that way the technologist doesn't have to pay out of pocket to get those credits. So it's very, very important. We're really proud of all the work that she's done with the program.
That's wonderful. We have, we also grow in cardiac cath lab. We have a program that allows EMTs. We get EMTs from Stafford, Spotsylvania, Fredericksburg, all the areas. We had an EMT in there today, so that they can come in and they can learn. And what I think is great is that it also, shows the community and those EMT partners, what happens when you have an MI, when you have a heart attack. And so then we continue to grow those people. And so we get people from all modalities. We have nurses, we have EMTs, we have people who are maybe fresh out of school that are interested in healthcare but don't know where to start. And so, I think what's great about some of the places that we manage is that there's all different levels. So you can get entry level all the way up to nurses and higher than that. So.
Yeah, and I think that's what's really neat about imaging is that you do have technologists and you do have nurses, and a lot of folks don't realize that nursing in imaging is a specialty. Mm-hmm. So we have radiology nurses, and they support our interventional radiology department. They do patient prep, recovery, sedation, all of those sorts of things. They help in other modalities of radiology when patients need medications or sedation in those areas. So we're really, really very blessed to be able to do that, and technologists who can, manage the imaging part of the procedure. So together, nursing and the technologists, we really make a lot happen with our physicians.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We do have a question.
Okay.
So Jesse, one of our listeners is asking about some of the complex procedures that you are doing there in the cardiac cath lab.
So that is very, very exciting, and I'm glad somebody brought that up. So just recently we opened up a hybrid cath lab. So that was opened up in October of 2016. I say recently, but it was about a year and a half ago. So some of the complex things that we're doing there is we're doing hybrid cases that are percutaneous that used to only be surgical cases. So those include what we call TAVR, which is transaortic valvular replacement. And that is where we actually replace your mitral, or your aortic valve. Mitral's coming. Your aortic valve, and percutaneously without having to open you up like we did previously. We also are moving on to do Watchman and some other things. We do CTOs, which is called chronic total occlusions, which are patients that have blockages in their heart that have been closed for quite a while, and probably haven't been able to be opened by other facilities, things like that. So we have a whole CTO program that we do, and get proctored, and also go out and proctor other facilities as well. So we are really evolving, doing a lot of things. In electrophysiology, we are doing AFib ablations. Watchman also is considered under cath and EP, so that's coming together here very soon. We do a lot of devices. We do a lot of complex procedures that you don't have to go outside of your community anymore. You can stay right here and get those cases done. And what's great is it continues to teach people, and people get to learn with it, so it continues to grow everybody who's involved in those complex cases.
And what's really neat is that with the hybrid lab, we've been able to partner together between cardiology and radiology to do some of those cases together that we used to do in the operating room.
Yes.
And so now we've brought them to the hybrid lab. Yes. And then Jesse mentioned TAVR. We do the CT portion of the TAVR so that the implant can be mapped to the patient specifically.
So we have to have specific sizes for
that.
So it's really a combination of radiology, cath, OR. It uses all of those disciplines to really make it happen. But it's amazing that patients can go home after having something that was heart surgery within 48 hours.
Yeah, the advancements that have been made and the investment that the organization's made in these kinds of techniques is just astounding to me.
Donna, we have a question for you. So you've been with Mary Washington Healthcare a long time. What keeps you here?
Oh, that's a great question. Earlier I mentioned the partnership. When I came here, I was the MRI supervisor. That was what I was hired to do. And this building that we're in today, Mary Washington Hospital, was steel girders at that time. And the first year I was here, we moved from our old facility into this one. And my first day as a leader on call was that move day. So I said, wow, they must really trust me, or they just don't know me very well. Not sure which, but we had a successful move. And, my dad always told me anything worth doing is worth doing well. And so it's sort of something that stuck with me. And I figured, no one can take experiences away. So give me all the experience. And the organization trusted me with a lot of things like that. And I've just been able to build my career here. I feel valued here. I feel like I'm trusted here. I don't know that I've ever had a feeling that I just didn't want to be here. This is just a family. It's a big one, but it's a family. And I think one of my proudest moments was being able to activate and operationalize the radiology department at Stafford Hospital. Because I think in a career, it's unusual to get to open a new hospital. And that was just the best feeling in the world, was to be trusted with something like that and to be mentored through it. And I learned a whole lot doing that.
We have several listeners that are asking questions about what types of opportunities might be available at this time. So would you all like to address that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So currently, again, I'm over EKG, echo, telemetry, stress testing, and cardiopulmonary rehab. So in EKG and telemetry, there are entry-level positions. If you're interested in healthcare and you want to kind of put your feelers out there and maybe interested in cardiology but not sure which way you want to go, it certainly is an entry-level job that you can come in and you can get a feel for that. You come in, we train you on the job, and you take some tests. You can grow by getting certifications, and we will, reimburse your certifications. We will also promote and be excited for you that you are getting those promotions. And then Mary Washington also holds quarterly recognitions for those certifications. So that's very exciting to be able to put your employees up there for those recognitions. Echo, we have has to go through schooling. We do have a position open for echo. We have 2 positions currently, and this is on my department. We have positions open for inpatient rehab. In inpatient rehab, we have physical therapists, occupational therapists, and speech therapists. So physical therapists, we have 2 positions open right now. We have a great physical therapy team. They do amazing things here. Their joints, they do same-day joints. They see 13 patients, sometimes twice a day. And we get those knee patients out within 24 to 48 hours. We get those hip patients out within 24 hours. So we're really showing a decrease in stay by what we're doing for these patients in rehab. We have a big neuro floor here, so we get to see those patients as well and get them out. So our rehab department is really growing, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And then for cath lab and EP and cath holding, right now all my positions are filled, but stay tuned. Hopefully there won't be any openings, but there's always opportunities as we grow, especially with the hybrid lab.
Yeah. And, on the outpatient rehab side, we have a great neuro program. We have a great ortho program. We do hands. We do pelvic floor, which is new for us. We have a couple of PTs that are certified to do the manual ortho, which is really, really wonderful. And we have a aphasia support group that's run by Molly Gentry.
And she just got recognized.
She
for
did.
That.
She
that was
did.
Very exciting.
Yeah. So we're really, really proud. It's a great interdisciplinary group. They work really, really well together. Really trust one another and support one another. So rehab is a wonderful, growing, especially on the outpatient side, growing department. So I want to keep that going. Yeah.
All right, so another question for you. What qualifications are needed for the departments that you each oversee?
So for imaging, various modalities, MRI, CT, diagnostic radiology, ultrasound, nuclear medicine, they all are required to have gone to an accredited school and be certified or in their disciplines by their respective accrediting agencies, licensing agencies. So, for example, we want to have, a CT tech who is registered by the American Registry of Radiologic Technology and preferably in CT itself to have that advanced level certification, and so on and so on. Ultrasound is a very high priority job. Ultrasonographers, it's very labor intensive manually and ergonomically. So we want to recruit and retain our sonographers and give them the equipment that they need so that they can do that job and be healthy doing that job. So we spend a lot of time looking at the equipment situation, ergonomic chairs, things like that, so that they're comfortable with what they're doing. Nursing, of course, they have to be licensed by the state of Virginia to have their nursing license, and preferably in IR, we want them to have their advanced certification in radiology. It's not a requirement, but we'd love for them to have that.
So again, for some of my diagnostic areas, as in EKG and telemetry, they are entry-level positions. So people who aren't sure quite what they want to do, but know that they want to go into healthcare. I've had many people go through EKG that are now nurses and other, cardiac nurses on the floor, ICU nurses, things like that. So it's a great area to start to really learn what healthcare is about and what Mary Washington is about. Echo, they do have to go to school, sonography school. Cardiopulmonary rehab, I have a range of people in there. I have nurses, I have physical therapists, I have a range of different people to make that area work. Cath lab, we hire techs and also nurses. So I have EMT that actually is just starting in 2 weeks. Hi, I hope you're watching. And then we continue to grow them. So then they get certified once they've been in there, and once we grow those people. Cath holding, I have CNAs, I have nurses as well. And physical therapy. Again, you went over physical therapy. So those a lot of times are master's or doctorate degrees. Same with speech and same with occupational therapy. We do have PTAs, OTAs, and those are physical therapy assistants. that don't have to have a master's degree. Their schooling is a little bit less, but my goodness, they're so vital to our team.
The physical
So-
therapists just rely so much on their assistants because, they can, really supplement what they're doing. And again, it's all about the patient experience, and making sure that patient feels comfortable and confident, in the care that they're receiving. And so together, they stay connected, the PTs and the PTAs, to make sure that everything is tied up neatly and the patients are receiving a great service. So, yeah.
Okay. If I joined Mary Washington Healthcare, what types of career development? I know you talked about the leadership opportunities, but what other types of career development might be offered?
Yeah. So, in imaging, we do a lot of cross-training. We're interested to know if a technologist comes in as a diagnostic radiographer, do they have an interest in one of the specialty areas like CT, MRI, interventional, and we want to be able to offer them an opportunity to learn something new. So we can do that. I know we talked a lot about the emerging leaders class for associate level who want to go into leadership, and we can give them the opportunity to get exposed to leadership techniques. And
they have mentors. They
Yeah.
have, they have classes put on by our organizational development team, which are just phenomenal. Then we have, from emerging leaders, we also have advancing leaders, for those leaders that are advancing even further. And, the classes and the mentors and the things that Mary Washington offers to continue to grow people is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
It really makes you feel part of that team. Really makes you feel valued.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. And that's, one of the reasons I've stayed here for 9 years is because I feel valued here.
Yeah. And the organization is a gold sponsor of Leadership Fredericksburg through the Chamber of Commerce. And so we do offer that opportunity for 2 associates a year to go through that year-long program. And what's really cool about that is you get to work with a nonprofit. So you're exposed to things in the community and you're able to help benefit the community in that way. And it's really neat because you can work together with people who are outside of healthcare, in all manner of disciplines. And so I was fortunate enough to be able to do that and graduated from that program in 2016. And it was such a blessing. And I made lifelong friends through the chamber, and I was actually able to mentor someone in the following class. And it was a great experience, a really great experience. And you know what else we have? The champions. Here, the Champions program.
Absolutely.
So we have leader level champions and we have associate level champions, and what a phenomenal job they have done. They have the opportunity for us to offer suggestions for improvement. They come back, follow up with you. They take your suggestion forward, follow up with you, and let you know, was it implemented? If it couldn't be implemented, what's going to happen down the road. Lots of good things have come from that, and I think it's really been a wonderful engagement opportunity for our staff. Really supporting one another and helping to change the organization for the better.
Engagement is great because they really do a lot of things for the new people coming in, the new associates coming in. They do a meet and greet. They do all kinds of special things for them, make them really feel valued, the day that they walk through this door. And so they do a lot with that. They also do fun activities. I think they had the Elfie Selfie over Christmas and things like that. So, the Champion program is really great to see. And we really encourage the associates to be part of that so that they can, bring that excitement back in what's new in the community or in the organization and things like that. So.
Yeah. And, we do a lot of fun events. This year we had Family Fun Day here in the organization, and we had it at Dominion Raceway. I'd never been there. It's a massive facility, and we had all kinds of vendors there. We had rock climbing. We had races. You got to ride in the race car. Lots of food, lots of bingo. So it was a really fun day, and the associates got to bring, their families, and you have your work family and you have your loved ones at home, and it was really kind of neat to see the two come together. And we talk about our work family when we go home at the end of the day, and so our families got to meet some of the people that we talk with and work with, and we're just lucky our families share us with each other here. And so that's kind of neat. I like that.
Want to talk a little bit about our culture as we wrap up for tonight. We've had some great questions, some great conversation, but, you know, in a nutshell, how would you summarize our culture or explain our culture?
You know, I would say a couple of words. The first word that comes to my mind is caring. You know, health care, but we care for each other, we care for our patients, we care for our community. We're so interested in things being really, really good. You know, we want to take good care of our patients. We want to heal them if we can, you know. And the other thing is supportive and collaborative, I would say. I think we're very fortunate to work in an organization where every discipline is so important, and we care about each other and support one another in that way. We can't do our job without all of the moving parts working together. So it's really, really neat to work here.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And the culture here is just, it's welcoming, it's family, it is high reliability. So, you know, we're big on safety and things like that.
Yeah.
When we find opportunities, we take action on those. Which I think is great. It's open. You can talk about things, which is wonderful, and everybody feels valued.
Yeah.
I feel very valued here, and I want my staff to feel very valued here, and I do believe that they do. They have, you know, they can make saying, they can say what they feel, and make a difference. You know, their word makes a difference. So, and I can tell you, my staff is absolutely wonderful. They are here for those patients. That's why we're here, and we really care for our patients, and you can see that in everything that they do.
Yeah.
They really are good.
Yeah. I mean, respect. I think we have a very high amount of respect for one another, professional respect, and I think that's what makes it comfortable to talk about the things that sometimes aren't comfortable. You know, no one's perfect, but we learn from things, and I think that is, I feel ownership. I feel like it's important that we're successful because I have a part in it. You know, so I think that's it. That's our culture.
Thank you. You two have been great at keeping the conversation going, and we look forward to having each of you join us back next month as we look closer at the pathology department. We've implemented a new automated line, and there are plenty of opportunities for career development or career growth in our pathology department. So please plan to tune in on February 13th again at 8:30 p.m. We always hope that you'll check out our website for career opportunities at MWHCcareers.com. Thank you and have a good evening.